Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Professor Frank Gannon from QIMR.
Good morning, riders, crew, and volunteers. Good morning, Brisbane. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we are meeting today. I would also like to pay my respects to the elders past and present. It's an incredible honour and a privilege to be standing here today in front of all of you amazing riders. I'd like to officially welcome you to the 2012 Rio Tinto Ride to Conquer Cancer, benefiting the Queensland Institute of Medical Research, QIMR. Are you ready for this spectacular ride? I know that the road ahead of us is long, but please take a moment, and just a moment, to reflect the incredible distance we've already come to get to where we are today. Everything that has happened, the pain, the joy, the excitement, the doubt, the strength, the hope, it was all necessary. These experiences are what has brought us to this point. And this moment is unique, and it will change everything. Each and every one of you riding has fundraised at least $2,500 to participate in the event. And in fact, many of you, most of you, have raised much more than that. And now for some exciting figures. Today, there are 1,519 riders. You are 1,519 participants, which is more than last year. And you have raised a grand total of $5.2 million. That is epic, and you are incredible to have done this work. So those of you who can do so, you should raise your helmets high, shake a fist, because that's a fantastic performance. Be proud of what you are and what you've done and what you're about to do. Something powerful is taking place here. So on behalf of QIMR, I want to thank you for your passion, for your commitment, and for your courage to ride the ride, the Rio Tinto Ride to Conquer Cancer. Due to your continued dedication, I'm confident that we will do that. We will conquer cancer. Now join us in welcoming Doug Ritchie, CEO Energy with Rio Tinto. Doug?
Well, good morning, everyone. I know it's an awful lot warmer this year than it was last year, but notwithstanding that, I'm not going to take very long speaking because I know you'd all love to get going. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we stand, the Turrbal people. Frank, thank you very much for those very, very inspiring words. I thought they were fantastic. And also to all of the organisers who've been involved in this, Brian and your crew, the sponsors, and of course all of you riders. It's really very much an honour to be here and to be part of this remarkable event. The view from up here of thousands of bike riders, family, friends and volunteers is pretty inspiring. I know that every one of us is here today because we have our own story about cancer, and everyone is here because we believe in the life-saving work of the scientists at the Queensland Institute of Medical Research. They give us hope, and that hope has inspired all of you to fundraise. Drag out that bike that perhaps has been gathering dust. Maybe you've had a couple of scraped knees, but you've done a fantastic job to get here and to raise, as Frank said, well over $5 million. The money raised from your efforts will mean that an awful lot more hours can be put into medical research and an awful lot less hours spent by research scientists in trying to find ways to fundraise. Speaking personally, I'm very proud to be part of Rio Tinto and to be associated with this ride. We have over 200 employees and family and friends of Rio Tinto who together on their own have raised over $420,000 this year. So between last year and this year, it's more than $750,000 that Rio Tinto itself has raised, and something to be very, very proud of. One of our riders today actually is my boss, our Chief Executive, Tom Albanese, who's come all the way from London to take part in this ride. And I'm very much hoping, like he is, that it's a smooth and uneventful two-day event. Tom, thanks very much for your support. I think it means an awful lot to all of us here from Rio today. So good luck to all of you. Have a fantastic ride, and please, above all else, make it a safe one, and may it be a memorable one. So may you please now join with me in welcoming Jeremy Sato on behalf of Chris Palmer, a survivor and a proud participant of the 2012 Rio Tinto Ride to Conquer Cancer.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm speaking here at the last minute on behalf of Chris because unfortunately he couldn't be here this morning. He's had some further complications and was hospitalised this week. I believe he may have been released yesterday, but he's obviously not well enough to join us today. So that's really sad news for him and the rest of our team. The first time I met Chris was actually when we go off from here, we'll go up the Esplanade, and he wanted to race me up the Esplanade, and he left me eating his dust. And having the cup of coffee afterwards, I was astounded to learn that he had actually done the whole ride wearing a colostomy bag. So Chris has written a speech, and if he could have been here today, this is what he wanted to say to you all. Can you believe that after months of training and fundraising, this day is finally here? Since registering for this journey, I've had a lot of time to reflect on my own personal reasons for riding. I'm sure, like many of you here today, this ride is especially significant for me. You see, the hardest part of my ongoing chemotherapy treatment is not what's happening to me. It's the 4 hours I spend in oncology on a Monday every second week. It really makes me feel for the others in the room who are not doing as well as I am. It was hard enough dealing with being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at 28, being told by my doctors that they had not seen anything like what I had in anyone under 70, and basically having them not expect me to survive. But to have the turnaround and response to the treatment that I have had, has my oncologist saying that it is patients like me that give him hope that there might be a cure out there. My battle is just over 2 years young so far, and the future for me is unwritten. I was diagnosed with bowel cancer that had spread to my liver and lymph glands on 28 June 2010. I have been through a bowel resection surgery that unfortunately had complications. My latest surgery in May to rejoin my bowel has slowed my cycling, but I will not let it stop me. I am motivated to do this ride to help others conquer their cancer also. I have already donated my removed body sections to research, as I believe if I can help anyone at all, it has made what's happened to me worthwhile. The best part of this journey has been riding and training with Team Fat Boys. Yay! They have become great friends of mine. Like all of you, I'm riding this weekend to support my friends who are living with cancer. Those friends and families who had cancer, the compassionate doctors and nurses who care for them, and the dedicated scientists who are uncovering the roots of this disease. We share the road together, and I'm thrilled that we are committed and united as one community to help the Queensland Institute of Medical Research conquer cancer. Have a great ride. It's my great pleasure to introduce Professor Georgia Chevenix-Trench from QIMR.
Good morning, everybody. I'm very proud to be part of this important event. I wish I could say I was as ready for the road as the rest of you. But before we head out, I just want to remind you of the importance of being safe on the road. Your safety is our top priority. So remember these critical tips. Obey all the rules of the road and the traffic laws, just as you would if you were driving a car. Along the route, you'll also find ride officials and law enforcement officials. Please follow their instructions as well. They're here to help. Please be patient as we set out for the morning and throughout the entirety of the ride. Most likely you will experience a little congestion at some point along the route and will have to wait in the occasional line at pit stops or meals, but don't get frustrated. Remember, this is a ride, not a race. Remember, this is a ride, not a race. And just enjoy the day and your fellow riders. Remember that riding a bike in a large group is much different than cycling alone, as your actions will affect all those around you. Always ride predictably and in control, and avoid weaving and erratic behaviour. Signalling when you need to change course or stop will let other cyclists and motorists know what you intend to do. We encourage you to ride in single file, especially when cars are passing. And lastly, stay alert. Anticipate the actions of fellow riders and motorists, and be vigilant of parked cars and unsafe road conditions. Adding these safety tips to those you've already been hearing in the last few weeks will give you a great foundation for an injury-free, fun weekend. Please welcome Brian Pembleton from the Ride to Conquer Cancer.
Please remain silent as a group of riders make their way down the center aisle. Together, they guide a single bicycle. Instead of being ridden today, it is escorted. This bike symbolizes so much about our important journey. A journey that started long before this morning, and one that will continue as long as cancer exists. This bike represents the person who once rode it. A father, a sister, an uncle, a friend, a life cut short by an unrelenting disease, and the once unridden bikes in our homes and unfilled spaces in our hearts that are left behind. To all of those that are no longer with us, we dedicate this ride to you. But as we embark on the spirit of those lost, we must not forget the fight of the living. You see, this bike also represents its escorts here, and all of our riders with the yellow flags, the survivors, and those currently battling. Look around you. Look at all those yellow flags. As we push ourselves to the limits these next few days, I encourage you to look upon the amazing courage and dedication of these riders. This ride hardly compares to the epic journey that you have already endured and continue to endure. You are the heroes among heroes in our battle to conquer cancer, and your participation today is incredibly inspirational. Why do we ride? Because our sweat is nothing compared to their tears. Because our challenge is nothing compared to their fight. Because we are all on one journey to conquer cancer. Keep this in your minds and in your hearts as you make your way through the countryside. Be proud of what you have done here today. And with that, I say, ready, set, ride! Thank you, Team Rio Tinto. I'm proud to be a member. Thank you, Sun Super. Thank you, Polka Dot Jersey Riders. Incredible.